9:45 p.m. local time. This is a directed net. Please do not break the net unless you have emergency or priority traffic. Please do not leave the net without first informing the net control station whenever possible. Your net control station this morning is November 1 Alpha November Delta. My name is Doug, and I'm in Munson, Massachusetts. At this time, are there any stations holding emergency or priority traffic? Emergency or priority only? Please call now. Nothing heard. Net control is now for our first region liaison station, Alpha Bravo 1 Tango Charlie. Paul, please call and list any traffic.
Good morning. This is Alpha Bravo 1 Tango Charlie, AB1TC. Paul, running battery power. Good morning, Doug. Good morning to the rest of the net. And again, we have no traffic for Western Mass Region 1. Back to net control.
K1FFK.
Okay, thank you, Paul. Net control is now looking for any stations holding traffic or announcements for the net. Traffic or announcements only, please call now.
Here be November 1, Quebec Oscar Victor, N1QOV, OB in Pittsfield, the running commercial power. Commercial power, I have no traffic for the net. The usual announcements after check-ins, please, Doug.
Alrighty there, Captain. Let me see where I was. I'm a little out of sorts here. kind of a sudden thing here. Okay, net control is now looking for any stations wishing to check into the Western Mass traffic net. With or without traffic, please call now.
Here it is. Here it is. Kilo Charlie 1, Alpha Echo Oscar, Rich in Lovell, Massachusetts. Running commercial power, I hold no traffic. Good morning, Doug. Good morning to the net.
Here is November 1, India Papa Zulu, Dawn, Mobile and Gardner, negative traffic. Good morning, Doug. Good morning to the net. In and out, please.
Here is Kilo Charlie 1, Alpha Kilo Mike, Scott in Templeton, commercial power.
This November 1, Sierra Yankee November, Rick in Dalton, Massachusetts. I have no traffic today. I'm on commercial power. 23.9 in Dalton, Massachusetts. Good morning, Doug, and the rest of the net.
Here it is. Kilo Alpha 1, Juliet Oscar Uniform, 10 in Peterborough, New Hampshire. Commercial power, no traffic, 26.6 degrees.
This is Kilo Bravo 1 Yankee Charlie Juliet, Curtin Housatonic, running commercial power, no traffic. Here is Whiskey Alpha 1, November Tango India. The name is John. The QTH is in Northampton today for running commercial power. Good morning. Here is Kilo Charlie 1 Bravo Yankee Delta Ridge from Pittsfield. Good morning, everybody. Battery power, affordable, and no traffic.
This is Kilo Bravo 1, Yankee Echo Oscar, Mario and Sandusville. No traffic, using commercial power. Good morning, Doug, and good morning, Nick.
Tango Charlie. Good morning, Paul. And I could not get through that telephone number in Chicopee. I wound up putting that piece of mail in the United States Postal Service, so we'll see what happens from there. N1QOV, good morning, Obi. KC1AEO, good morning, Rich. N1IPZ, good morning, Don. KC1AKM, good morning, Scott. N1SYN, good morning, Rick. KA1JOU, good morning, Ken. KB1YCJ, good morning, Kurt. WA1NTI, good morning, John. And KC1BYD, good morning, Rich. And KB1YEO, good morning, Mario. Obi, you want to give us your first go around with messages?
Okay, messages, announcements, tomfoolery, whatever you want to call it. First of all, you're out of your shorts, out of sorts, out of your shorts. On the internet, they call that going commando. So get your K-bar knife. And the usual stuff. Newcomers Roundtable, first and third Monday, 7:30. This repeater, all welcome. Newly licensed hams, upgraded hams, and old timers alike. Informal net, Newcomers Roundtable. First Monday of the month, the Aries Races emergency net. When is that? 7 p.m. 1900. First Monday. The 9-1 repeater. And starting up, I guess, this next coming first Tuesday is the Reserve Medical Corps Emergency Net from 7 p.m. until 8 p.m. This repeater, the next first Tuesday of the month. More nets and stuff. Sunday morning emergency nets. Western Mass Emergency Net, starting out on HF 3944 at 8:30. Moving over to the no bark repeaters, 2 meters at 9, 6 meters at 9:30, 440 at 9:45, and 220 at 10 a.m. Back tonight.
Thank you, Omi. And I forget who was on short time. I think it was Scott in Templeton. I forgot to say you may secure at your leisure. And the last station that tried to check in, I heard some noise, but I couldn't pick any of it out. So we'll go with one more round. Any other stations wishing to check into the Western Mass Traffic Net, please call now. I guess he said to heck with it. Do you have more for us, Obi?
More is more. S'mores with, what's that, Rice Krispies with peanut butter? I don't know. Yeah. Stand by. What do we got here? If anyone has any something they like put out on the net, get a hold of me and I'll put it out. Club related, personally related, whatever. Okay, one more pass of the ISS this evening at 23:41, roughly 11:45 this evening. Okay, current weather conditions in Pittsfield, overcast and breezy. Looks pretty sunny out there to me, 24 degrees Fahrenheit. Wind is out of the west at 25, gusting to 32 miles per hour. Looks like nice sunny weather, but cold right through to Saturday. Saturday night, wintry mix moving in, and then rain right through Monday night. Countdowns, 5 days until Thanksgiving, Earth calendar, St. Thomas Day, somewhere, Transitional Government Day, somewhere, World Television Day, International. I give up on TV. I think the internet's better. St. Archangel, Mikhailo in Serbia, and something in the Sikh religion going on today. Today in the USA, National Stuffing Day. Get an early start on that. NoBark website is up. It says Happy Thanksgiving on the website. NoBark.org, NorthernBerkshireAmateurRadio.org. Next club meeting, November 30th, 30 November. Next club meeting at the Pittsfield Humane Society on Barker Road in Pittsfield. We got for HF contest this weekend, the LZDX contest, SKCC Sprint, CW Ops Mini thingy, QRPARC 160 meter thingy, and the Great Britain 80 meter club something or other CW 80.
K1F.
Solar flux conditions 168, A is 11, K is 3, and the count is 83. One more Hamfest Flea Market. Where's that? 29th of November in Windsor, Connecticut. Windsor, Connecticut. Back to net, N1QV.
Thank you, sir. And one last call for any stations wishing to check into the Western Mass traffic net before I close. Please call now.
This is Hotel Echo Mike, Kilo Bravo 1 Hotel Echo Mike, and we're in Springfield EOC running commercial power. Good morning.
This is Kilo Delta 2 Golf Yankee uniform in the truck running battery power.
Okay, in the truck. I can hear you there, Ted. Can hear you in the truck. Welcoming KB1HEM, I think it was. That's all I got. I didn't get your name or your QTH. Could you give me that again, please?
Sure will. The name is Dennis. We're running commercial power out of the Springfield EOC.
Okay, Dennis. Thank you for checking in. I heard you earlier giving a shout for Eric, I think it was, but I was, shall we say, detained at the moment. Okay, one last call for any stations before I close wishing to check into the Western Mass traffic net. Please call now.
Edward Shorts.
Here is November 1, Juliet Kilo, battery portable HT in Lanesboro, Massachusetts, no traffic. Good morning.
It recognizes N1JJK, and I should know your first name, but I don't. Could you give it to me?
Sorry about that, old man.
N1SYN, Phil here. That's Ed. Echo Delta, N1JJK. This is N1SYN.
Yeah, I got that. I assume he's mobile because he's in and out kind of there. So I put him down as battery. Okay, with that, this closes Cycle 1 of the ARR Western Mass Traffic Net. I'd like to thank the Northern Berkshire Amateur Radio Club for the use of the Mount Greylock K1FFK 146.91 repeater. The time is now 10 hours and 19 minutes. I now return the repeater back to normal amateur radio use. Thank you to all 15 stations who checked in this morning. And thanks to those who stood by while it was being conducted. This is November 1, Alpha, November Delta, Doug in Munson. Now signing clear, 7-3 to well.
N1AND, this is KD2GYU.
Good morning, Ted. This is N1AND.
Hey, thank you for picking that up. In the house, I can hear everything just fine.
but I couldn't transmit. I even switched over to my handheld and plugged it in to the antenna, which has worked before, and still you guys couldn't hear me. So I'm not sure what's going on. I'll have to do some digging, but I ran out to the truck. I'm glad you can at least hear me, so it's not I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, what do you have, an antenna inside the house?
No, I've got a ground plane outside the house that has been what I've been using for a while. Last night, I think I talked to ZHM last night, and it seemed to work fine. I don't know where to. I'll take everything apart, put it back together, and see what I get.
Yeah, well, if you have an SWR meter, you want to see what the SWR is on the thing. I don't know. It was, I could tell you were in there, and I could actually pick out what you were saying. I knew it was you, but it was really, really noisy and not good communications at all there. So something must be wrong. Something must have gone wrong with that antenna or the feed line or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll check it out. Everything's, it's pretty simple, and it's been working. Something must have happened overnight. I don't know. Maybe we got a lot of wind and something got bent. I just took a look. It's a really, really simple setup. So, don't know.
Yeah, well, it's been pretty windy down here. I don't know about up there. I assume it was. A couple of stations were saying that the repeater was kind of crackly to them, and I forget. There was one station. Who was that? Maybe that was Jack and Troy. I don't know. Somebody kept saying that the repeater was very crackly and scratchy to them, but they might have had a problem, or wind was affecting them too. It's been kind of windy here. It's only 30 degrees right now here in Munson, and bright and sunshiny, but kind of windy.
Yeah, the only thing different that I can think of is I set up that little weather station, but it communicates with itself on I think on 433.9, so that shouldn't affect the 2-meter radio.
You never know. I have a wireless router for my computer, and it really doesn't affect any of my radio gear at all, except for 146.91. And every once in a while, not all the time, but every once in a while, it sets up a terrible, terrible bunch of hash. I have to really unplug it.
Well, I'll do some digging, and I'll do some on-air calling out tonight, see if people can hear me, see if I can figure out my problem. If not, looks like I'm gonna have to build another antenna and see if that fixes it. I guess I'll probably take the one off the truck or bring the radio out here and make sure. But I tried 2 radios and I was getting the same result, so it's got to be something with the antenna.
Yeah, that's what I figure. If it did it with 2 separate radios, it's the antenna or the feed line. Most likely, if you've had wind up there, check the antenna. But if you got an SWR meter, put that in the line and see if that SWR went crazy. You were making the repeater, but a lot of problems there. Okay, I got to finish my paperwork, Ted, and I'll talk to you whenever. KD2 GYU. This is N1AND. See you later.
Thanks, Doug. KD2 GYU. I'll be clear because I'm freezing my butt off in my room. Have a good day, everyone. Sorry for the confusion on the net. Thanks, Doug, for taking over. 7-3s, guys. KD2 GYU clear.